human friend here.
Wormy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Rachel Stravelli, Wisdom Keeper series, and today I am talking with the lovely Melissa Indot, and I'm really excited for what we're going to delve into. And she is so fun and creative. I anticipate that I might be surprised, or you as the listeners. And she's a singer and a songwriter, among her many other talents. And this is the coolest thing. Her role in the world currently, that what the world is calling her to do, to be, is a conscious living facilitator, which I think just sounds so delightful. So welcome.
Hi. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this series with you. Thank you. I feel very, very privileged and very honored to have been invited. So first of all, thank you for that, Rachel.
You're welcome. Well,
what are we playing with today?
Yes. Well, so I like to start with a little something to just get everybody grounded and thinking about where you live in the world, the physical environment.
Okay.
And you can share whatever level of that you want. The weather, did you go for a walk? What was the air like? The temperature, something that makes us feel like, okay, I know where you are in the world and I can picture it in my body too.
Okay. Well, I'm currently based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So I'm in Asia. Malaysia is south of Thailand, north of Singapore. I got to get my directions right. West of Australia, so we're not quite as far as Australia. We're 8 hours ahead of GMT, so that's 8 hours ahead of London, and I think you and I are 12 hours apart.
Yes.
So we are, the other side of the planet almost, actually. The climate here is it's hot all the year round, so we're just below. My geography is pretty bad. You might want to check this one, but we're just below the equator, so we're tropical.
Yeah. Is it the dry season now? Do you have a
You know what?
dry?
We do.
Okay.
We do. And the dry season's kind of over.
Oh.
And actually recently it's been raining every day. Today we had a massive storm. It was beautiful, actually. It was beautiful. All I wanted to do was sleep.
That sounds lovely.
So it's very tropical. It's humid. We have about 60, 70, 80% humidity here. It's pretty high. And the capital, Kuala Lumpur, which is where I live, it's, very cosmopolitan. It's hustle and bustle. It's very, very busy. But we have a lot of green here, which is beautiful.
That's so nice. I love the green.
Average temperature, maybe 36, it's been, over the years, the average temperature has gone up because of global warming, I presume.
Right.
But we're well into the 30s. Wardrobe is pretty much...
talking Celsius for those of you who
Celsius.
are Fahrenheit.
Yes, Celsius.
It's okay. Years ago, I lived in Canada and they used Celsius, and then I moved back to the US, and I would be places and people would talk about the temperature, and I'm like, are we in Celsius or Fahrenheit right now? Because especially when you talk about the 30s are totally reasonable in either one, and people could be annoyed by the 30s in either one, really cold or too hot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's pretty much this temperature all year round. The difference is we have a wet season and a dry season, as you mentioned earlier. So wardrobe wise, I'm pretty much in t-shirts and tank tops and most of the year round. My case, mainly in yoga clothes most of the year round.
Yeah, nice.
So that's pretty much where I'm located at the moment. Actually, normally 6 months of the year I'm not here. I'm traveling. But this is where I was born. This is where my family are based. And I spent my early years, my primary school years here. And then I went off to England. So actually London and KL, short for Kuala Lumpur, really are my home.
That's
very lucky.
Cool. Do you have ways in which in either place you like to get outside and be doing things?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So here, well, I'm very. I mean, I live on the 8th floor, so I'm in an apartment block, and I have the most beautiful view of trees and hills.
Mm,
So at least daily, if I can't get out, or I don't get out to a park
right.
or the jungle hike somewhere, I can at least exercise my eyes and be out. You know, I'm
Mm,
high up, I've got the air. I'm not in the heart of the city. Outside
mm-hmm.
the city. Otherwise, pretty much, the nearest sort of park, if you like, which is inset to the jungle, is probably about 10-minute drive from me.
Oh, lovely.
And like I said, it's very green. The city is very green. So even when I'm driving around, there's lots of green.
Mm.
But yeah, that's how I connect. To go into the local nearest jungle trail is probably about 8 minute drive, 8 to 10 minute drive away.
That sounds so lovely. And I love how you're aware of, even if you're not like out there on the trail, you look out the window and it's like you're a part of it. You're taking it in. Your eyes are physically
Totally.
exercising, but it's
Yeah,
feeding your soul and you're just a part of
absolutely.
it. Because not everybody can
Not
hop
everybody
in
can.
their car or bike or by foot and be like, okay, now I'm going to immerse myself totally in the jungle or the forest.
Exactly.
But yeah, the
And
looking at the sky and just taking that all in is
oh,
amazing as well.
it's one of my favorite things to do is cloud gaze. And
Ooh.
currently, we're on lockdown here in Kuala Lumpur. We've been
Mm,
like restricted movement here for 4 weeks. So I
mhm.
actually haven't left my building in 4 weeks. I haven't touched the ground. I've been on the 8th floor for the last four
Wow.
weeks. And so just, it's really this beautiful realization of that separation has disappeared. This idea of I have to go to the park even more is now kind of really settling into well, I can really appreciate the plants that I have and
Mm,
admire them, and really admire the view of the trees in the distance and
mhm.
bring them, be present with them. And so distance kind of dissipates, the idea of distance dissipates.
Yeah. Wow. That's really good.
It's a creative, it really gets me to tune into my creative way of seeing the world and myself.
Ooh. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you see the world creatively? I know with creative, sometimes that changes, but at this
Yeah.
period in time, what is that like for you?
Yeah, so I guess what I mean with that is being able to explore instead of sort of seeing, it's this conversation of my glass, is the cup half full, half empty.
Mm.
So I could feel constantly like I can't get out, I can't go to the park because we're not allowed
Mm.
to, and so that's killing me. That's draining me. It's like I'm feeling desperate, I'm feeling cooped up, I'm feeling crazy that I can't go hug a tree or put my feet on the grass or be by the ocean if I want to, or I can say to myself creatively, let me find a way, a perspective that where I can bring that into my present being.
Mm.
And in doing that, I have memories, and then you sit into the gratitude then shows up with us. Like, my goodness, thank goodness I have memories that I can draw upon. And actually that's what I think it's a very creative way to use memories, is to take you back to places, because they're like photographs, aren't they? Videos.
Yes.
Take you back to a place, and it's like a visual meditation. You can sit there and just recall that moment. I did it just yesterday, actually, this morning here in Malaysia. I
Mm-hmm.
was looking through my pictures and I found a photo of me on the beach in Sri Lanka, literally 4.5 weeks ago, just before I came back
Wow.
to the lockdown. And I gazed, as I would gaze into the clouds, I gazed into that picture and I closed my eyes and I just, through breath, brought myself back there.
Mm.
And in my whole body, I could feel slowly, almost like the way the waves brush the shore, the beach. I
Mm-hmm.
could feel that, the tingles of that memory, my senses. The
Mm.
breeze, I could imagine the breeze, the rumbling of the waves on the earth,
Wow.
very subtly,
Yes.
but it's really creating that reality. And that's creativity. It's really being
That's
creative in
amazing.
your thought process.
I love that. And yes, our memories are there for us to use. Like you're saying, you're in this moment. You could choose to look at it, you know, with the, oh my gosh, why do I have to be
Yeah.
here? I can't put my feet on the ground. And sometimes people go there because that's what they're used to. They're used to reacting in that way. But you're consciously saying, I'm going to react in a way. I'm going to choose how I'm going to be. I'm going to have a meditation and focus on this beautiful moment where I was connected that wasn't that long ago, and the memories are still there, so vivid.
Exactly. It's like spending a little bit of time to notice what that reaction, that first reaction is. The first reaction is, oh man, I have no idea when I'm going to get this again. When can I go out? I feel restricted. I really want to connect to nature. And it's like going, okay, pause. What is my need?
Yes.
Yeah. What is it exactly that I need right now? Rather than go into the feeling like what I can't have.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go into what I can have and look in my resources. My resources show me that I have memories that I can recall.
Yeah.
And then sit in the gratitude of that, because so many people don't have these sort of memories. Many people don't have the privilege or luxury to even have a bank of memories like this.
Right. Yes.
So then suddenly it becomes like this multifaceted experience, conscious experience that I'm creating for myself and in my reality right now, from the cup half full, which is what I don't have, to what I do have, and then redirecting consciously. That's where the conscious living facilitator thing comes from.
Yes.
Consciously redirecting that energy, because I've got clarity on what my actual need is in that moment.
Yes, I love that. And when you are being conscious of this action need and conscious living facilitator, what have you always been like this and had this way of dancing with disappointment and being like, come in and let's play, and maybe you're not so disappointing after all?
I think actually an artist, when I say artist, I mean because music is kind of my language. So yes. I think anybody who's either a musician or a dancer or a singer or has found that, made a more than a hobby of that, a painter even, we naturally go there because we create from imagination.
Yes.
Actually.
Right.
So that's where it stems from. And imagination is kind of drawing on memories. Mm-hmm. It's also drawing on narratives we've heard consciously. So maybe things our parents told us, our grandparents told us, a friend told us.
Yes.
And then maybe also being interwoven with things we've read, things we've heard subconsciously. Maybe there was a lady in the restaurant 3 weeks ago that I overheard her mention something. And on a subconscious level, it got imprinted. So it's like all these layers. And then we get into our imagination, we write music, we paint a picture. So intrinsically, I feel creatives or artists already practice this.
Yeah.
But actually, in terms of humans, it is our innate ability. We all have that already.
Yes.
And what I've done is I've taken it one step further in that I've created a system for it, if you like.
Ooh.
A bit of a container or a structure. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. And yes, I agree. I think as humans, this is one of our natural abilities. And I think the artists, and I too use the term broadly. To me, artist is anyone who's using creativity in their life in an artistic way, whether that's visual art, which is what a lot of people call art, or music or dance or, theater, all kinds of other things. But as you say, that it's something we could all choose, and we take this rich experience from all the different places, dabble with it, play with it, and it's very empowering, as opposed to just letting life happen to you, beat you up and throw you down.
Exactly. It's like, instead of life happening to me, I'm going to make life happen for me. So we move out of this kind of victim, I'm helpless, poor me, And even that in itself is, a lot of it's not even ours. Again, it's the same thing. We've picked it up from what we've heard from people. And one of the key elements of being a conscious living facilitator in at least where I move from, and the creative aspect, is connecting with that inner child.
Ooh, and that's part of your system, your facility.
Yeah, that totally.
Ooh, tell me
That's
more.
that's the energy, because at the end of the day, like we both established, it's something that's innate in us. Being creative, we didn't even talk about the word inspiration. When we're inspired and we're creative, inspire, in spirit, divinity. It's like it's not. We're not even thinking anymore. When we're being creative, we're not thinking. We open a doorway and then it just flows, right? And you look at children, and I don't have any of my own, but I've got plenty of friends who've got kids and got nieces and nephews, and we just spend a moment to observe them, right? The way they move. Their imagination is extraordinary. So their realities are extraordinary. And actually, that's where we want to go to. We want to let go of all the beliefs that we have. Children don't have beliefs. We give it to them.
Right.
Because life starts to happen. We tell them that life is happening to you, when all this while they've been living life, making it happen for them. No one's going to tell me I'm not a superhero. I'm going to take that tablecloth, I'm going to tie it around my neck, I'm going to throw it in the wind, and I am a superhero, right? That's what they do, and no one can tell them they're not.
Yes.
And one of the I'm gonna just, if I may, just give you give you and everybody who's watching, this nugget that I share in with all the people that I get to share my work with, which is this practice of reflecting on all the dreams you had as a child. Okay. Or actually choose one. Well, let's do it now. Are you up for it? There's a surprise. Yeah. I'm putting myself on the spot here as well. So
okay, I'm like, I hope I can remember them all or enough.
Choose one, and it's the first one that comes to you. I'm putting myself on the spot now. One childhood dream you had.
I mean, music and dance was a big. I wanted to be so many things, right?
Okay.
Writing, scientist, music, and music is the one I haven't dabbled with really.
Okay.
But I did buy a guitar yesterday, so even though we're in quarantine, I found somebody and we touched as little as possible to exchange money for a guitar.
So scientist, what was the other one? The first one you mentioned?
Oh, writer.
You wanted to be a writer and you wanted to be a scientist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can we now establish in the present moment that you fulfill those dreams? Okay.
Yes.
So when you were that little Rachel, right? You never for one moment thought to yourself, these dreams are too big. Right? I mean,
right,
maybe
because
if you get older,
list. There were even a few more things.
Yeah.
It was like I was going to be like 5 things.
Right? No, limitless. We knew no limits. We had these huge dreams, but we didn't see them as huge. We just saw them as, these are my dreams. What's the problem, mate? You got it. That's my dream. Take it or leave it. Funny. Number one, they were not big. They were what is, total presence with it. And we never thought, oh God, it's going to be so hard. What do I have to do to get there? I'm going to be a writer. And then we find ourselves in life, I'm not even going to say fulfill our dreams. We turn our dreams into reality. Mm-hmm. And then we never give ourselves an opportunity, first of all, to realize it, because we've actually realized the dreams. And then we don't get to integrate that and go, oh my God, I am living my dream. I am a writer. And I know you, Rachel. Mm-hmm. And you are absolutely a scientist. I know that.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we don't realize it. We don't integrate it. We definitely don't celebrate it. And then what happens is we notice again the cup half empty. What dreams we haven't fulfilled, and what dreams I met so many adults I ask now, what are your dreams now? They're like, I don't have any. or yeah, no, I can't tell you, it's ridiculous, it's never going to happen. So, or it's too far, it's impossible. So all these things that we never had as children, we have now, and we've missed the big nugget in this, which is we are living proof that we are limitless. Because when we were kids, we had these massive dreams, which we've achieved. And so therefore, it's so important for us to continue to have these dreams today, because we're living proof that we can transform, we can realize our dreams, literally.
I love that. We're living proof that we can realize our dreams. And yes, and more celebration of them.
Yeah.
I think that's so true.
So important, because when we celebrate as well, it's a way of us offering gratitude to ourselves and to all the experiences, our resilience, our commitment, our drive, our determination. We honor all the struggles we've been through as well. They're equally important. Yeah. And it's also a way of us honoring all the people along the way who were part of that experience, including all the ones who broke our hearts, who said no to us, who didn't believe it, everybody without exception. We honor every part of that experience, that journey. And, you know, energy, the more gratitude we feel, oof.
Yes.
I'm like, I've got tingles just sharing. I mean, just talking about it. I'm like, actually, yeah, I need to make my dreams list again.
Yeah. And I love how you're saying about gratitude for all of it. Cause I can't remember. I think I've made a few videos about forgiveness, but it also makes me think about forgiveness, because when we have anger or upset for people in the past, we're not acknowledging that they were a part of our story or who we are now. And even though it was uncomfortable, whatever dynamic that makes us be mad at them, they were essential to this whole picture that is our life. And Absolutely. When we have gratitude for them, then it's like a rush of energy back, and we release them to, you know, there's no anger or upset or whatever. They go do their thing, and we have more energy to do dreams and wake up and be like, I'm here.
Yeah. And it's like, we got to remember how energy works. If someone is making you angry, not that anybody can make us feel something, but if, let's say, my experience with someone makes me feel anger, then that anger is there to inform me the change needs to happen, right?
Right. Exactly.
So thank goodness that person informed me, helped me receive that information for myself. And I switched the you know, this idea of forgiveness, because forgiveness it's a big thing, you know, it's a big conditioning and a belief system that we have that's heavy.
Yeah.
It's so hard to forgive someone. How can I forgive them? I mean, I feel that, you know, there's a lot of anchoring in there. But how about we switch that and we go to a gratitude practice where we go, I thank you for giving me the experience.
That's good.
Suddenly that feels like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, and sometimes I get on a gratitude train. I'm like, the gratitude just keeps on going. I'm like, this is a lot of energy here.
It's a lot of energy. And it's funny because I was having a chat with a friend today, and we were talking about forgiveness, actually. Actually, we were talking about, not forgiveness, about gratitude. Ooh. And she was saying to me, are you always like this? Do you always manage to find a way to reframe things? And I'm like, you know, it's kind of annoying. Sometimes I find it annoying. I annoy myself. And she cracked up. She goes, how can that be? And I'm like, because sometimes I just want to be grouchy. But then what happens is when I get annoyed at myself for being able to reframe something, it also makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's that awareness of our humanity. Sometimes we just want to be in that complaining space. You know, we just want to be in that. My cup is just half empty. Actually, it's 3/4 empty today. And in order to not avoid, but to ensure that we don't jump onto the spiritual bypassing or the denial piece or the avoidance piece, is to always sort of give yourself permission. Allow yourself to feel those things. Feel the anger, feel the frustration, feel the annoyance, even towards it myself.
Yeah.
So that we can move through it.
Yes. Do you ever write angry songs to move through it?
Oof. Sister, boy, have I written some angry songs, you bet. In fact, it's a good question because I could never write happy songs.
Really?
I could only write angry and heartbreak songs.
Oh, wow.
But I can now, as of today, I can only write happy songs.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I don't know what's going on there. It's funny.
That is really funny. Maybe you just needed a lockdown to bring out the happy.
Yeah. Actually, it happened just before the lockdown. I'm thinking that's why it happened because it was it was like a precursor.
Yes.
In preparation for it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well, do you, I love everything you've been saying. I feel like we could just riff on any of these things for on and on. Do you have places you go to or people that you like to tune into when you need inspiration, or do you really like to just sit with your own pool or bowl of creativity and see what comes up? Or are there musicians who, when you hear them, you think, ooh, I want to dabble like that?
For sure.
Yeah.
I like to free fall. Actually, I do this a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate, I would say, in that I've been this way since I was a child, and I've managed to just stay this way, which is, I feel something in my heart first. So I'm a feeler for sure. It's like it fills my heart. And then I go to my gut for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if the gut says yes, then my answer is yes. And then a couple of hours later, the brain then kicks in and goes, what did you just sign up for? What did you just say yes for? And then, and I'm a person that pretty much once I've committed, I won't back out of something. And so I find myself in this, it's a surrender piece. I just got to surrender to the moment and trust and show up best that I can. And
Wow.
And that's also the creative flow. That's the being in flow of life and trusting that life happens for you, and I think that all just helps compound the experience.
Yes.
It's total freedom as well. It's a sense of total freedom.
So
yeah.
That makes me think of a question, because sometimes I have that total trust and total freedom, but sometimes I find, and maybe other people listening will find too, I've had moments where my gut tells me something, but I can't find the right words to tell someone, no, I don't want to do that. No, this isn't, like, do you ever, and maybe it's just me needing to say, nope, sorry, and not giving an answer for something that seems totally reasonable for me to say yes to. But what could you maybe share for people that would be some wisdom when we know what our gut is saying, but getting the words out or getting our mind to be like, yeah, this is it. I'm standing behind this.
I hear it's such a awesome question, Rachel. Thank you for asking this. My marker is always when my gut, if it's not a yes, it's a no. Okay, first of all, let's get clear on that. If it's not a yes, it's a no. And finding the words for that, because first of all, most people don't like to hear no. I know I don't.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't like to say no.
Right,
well,
exactly.
Right. So where we can come from, once we have the clarity first, which is if it's not a yes, it's a no, how do I then communicate that is, well, first of all, know that me saying no to someone else is actually a yes to me. Right? Number one. And number two, I can be honest and real, because if we talk about time, all we have is now.
Yes.
Right? Because tomorrow hasn't happened. Right? And yesterday's gone. And that minute, oops, gone. right? So I can say, so offer gratitude first. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you. Whatever it is that someone has asked you, and then say, it's a no for now. So bring the time context in.
Yes.
Right now, and say it right now. I am not able to give you the best of me right now.
Yes.
So I'm honoring our friendship. I'm honoring the integrity of your reputation, your work, your offer, honoring my integrity of me showing up at my best for you.
Yes. That feels so good. And I love so many parts of that, because as I said, I had a specific instance yesterday, and it was somebody wanted to hire me, but I knew it wasn't good timing, and I knew I couldn't bring my best self. And yet there's a part of me, and maybe this is social conditioning too, that's saying, but you don't turn down somebody who wants to hire you. Like, that doesn't make sense when you want work and you like this work. But my gut's saying no, and I'm like, come on now, why are you not working? I would like to do this.
Yeah.
My gut's like, not budging.
Yeah.
I'm hearing no. But reframing that to saying, this is yes for me, and the time, because I haven't thought about using time as a context, but that's so true, because a lot of times it is a timing thing. If this woman had asked me a month ago, the answer would have been yes, but it's not right now. So yeah.
And there's a big trust and surrender piece as well, in knowing that in terms of the time, or at least your gut, which is, and this is so it's both compounded together, right? The time issue, not right now, is also that we're humans, obviously, and we work based on mental construct. That's why we have this concept of time, our money concept, like I want work like this. So it shows up this way. But when we trust our gut, we're also trusting that for life an opportunity to show itself in other ways.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
And it could be that this person requires to do something else for themselves first before they can receive you fully. So in fact, it's not even about you. It's actually about them.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then also we step into this space of collective, because then it's not about you and me anymore. It's about us.
Right.
So I can be my best for you,
Yes.
and you can show up in a way where you can receive the wisdom, receive what it is you're investing in, and get the full benefit for yourself.
Yes. I love that. And because I think you're so right, when I'm me or anybody else who's in this scenario, because I know it's not just me, when we're worried about the minutia of it, and not that it's all minutia, but we're not remembering the bigger picture, that me saying yes to me then changes the whole landscape in that moment. And it shows the other person, wait a minute, like, whether or not they know consciously, I'm saying yes to me. And so then it's shifting, as you said, it's a thing for them, an invitation to do who knows what, look for someone who's a better fit, do something themselves, blah, 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 all of the things that they could choose to do. And so then, and I know for me, whenever I say yes to my gut, it's just like, things get even better. It's like somebody turned up the volume on the dance party, and it's like, okay, now the party's really happening.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like shifting the reality, you know, whatever choices we make, we shift that reality for the entire collective, because we are interconnected. The decision I make affects that person, and then affects their entire universe, because we're all connected.
Yeah.
So it's so important that we find, to the best of our ability, also in that present moment, to be able to tune in and honor what our gut is telling us, because in many ways we're also picking up super conscious level energy of whoever it is we're engaging with. We are picking up on their energy.
Yes. Yes, because it was making me think, as you said, some of the reason I don't like saying no is, oh, I know they might be disappointed. And so the empath in me and in other folks too has a discomfort with it. But what do you find, because I know you love people with and other beings with all of your heart, how do you find it? Have you had periods in your life where you had to figure out, how do I be loving to all of these people and still honor me?
Yes. In fact, I have a beautiful poem that I've written called Choose Me, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it with you, and maybe you can find a way to share it with your community as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was inspired exactly from this, exactly what you've just asked me.
Wow.
And really, the way to honor everybody, I don't think you know the answer, really. The way to honor everybody is to honor me, is to honor yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely that. And this is goes into the whole conversation of boundaries, and because it's like giving from an empty cup.
Yeah.
I can please everybody and be available for everybody, but if I'm not available for myself, then I'm like, there's nothing left for me to give.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So
Mm.
it's that piece. Easier said than done, admittedly, but this is the muscle that we are flexing every day and strengthening and expanding until the universe throws us something else, or God, whatever your beliefs may be, throws you some. Just when you thought you got there, something gets thrown in.
Just a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm doing good. And now I'm like, well, I'm learning how to do good again.
Yeah. Totally. It's the abundance over absence piece, where, like you said, it's back to the cup half empty, which is you notice what's missing, or sorry, I'm going to reframe that. It's not even about that. It's more about, sometimes we're like, I'm here again. Yeah, I thought I learned, and then you beat yourself up. You're like, God, why do I put myself through this? And then you stop for one moment. You go, well, maybe I'm here again, not because I missed something the last time,
right?
Because there's something else for me to learn. Because I don't know about you, I always used to say to myself, oh, I'm so dumb. Clearly, I haven't learned anything because I'm here again. It was always in relationships, by the way. And then I realized it wasn't that I hadn't learned something. I had learned that lesson, whatever that lesson was the last time, but I'm here again, what looks like again, to learn something else.
That's so good. Yeah.
When you create that awareness of, actually, I'm here to learn something else, it's amazing how then you sit up and you become curious. Then you won't repeat the old pattern anymore because you're looking for something else.
Yes. And I also sense with that, what I love is there's a gentleness and a compassion with ourselves.
Yes.
That lets us not go into judgment of this again, like what?
Totally.
And as you said, then you can look for, okay, well, what do I see this time around? How is this different?
Yes, exactly. That the softness, because we're so good at beating ourselves up, aren't we? Just so we move through that.
Oh, well, this has been so good. Before we go, are there any projects that you're working on that you want to tell everyone about? Like we know a little bit about conscious facilitation,
Sure.
but I know that's not the only thing you do, but share with us, yes, what you want us to follow or do.
Thank you. So my signature program, for want of a better word, is called Intuitive Leadership. So it's like literally everything that I shared with you today is part and parcel of that. It's like really getting curious, tapping into that inner child and getting excited about life again, and all the different ways that we can make life happen for us. Looking at those holes, all those gaps, all those things. Oh, I'm missing that and I'm missing that. And we're not filling the gaps. We're just taking 2 steps aside. It's about perspective, right? Something from one perspective, it could look like there's a hole in the ground. And from another perspective, you notice that the shadow that you thought was a hole in the ground was actually a wet patch on the ground. You get what I mean? So
yes, I love that.
playing with that, but in a very creative way. And that's it's available as an online program. So that's my signature program. But if I get to visit people or to be in the same city as people, then I incorporate that with art, like with painting, intuitive movement. So, sorry, I take 2 steps back because I'm in my energetic mode.
Yes.
even with the intuitive leadership, which can be done in group, it can be done one-to-one. My main vehicle for the program is music. So I actually use music, listening and prompting you with the listening to music as a container for all your stuff, which can become exciting to show up. Because as a singer-songwriter, I know how much intention goes behind creating music. So that's magic right there. You know how you listen to a song and it can shift your state of being like in a moment?
Yes.
Well, why not tap into that energy when we're on this self-discovery journey?
That's amazing.
Magic. So yeah, so the modality is called intuitive music programming. That's the modality that I've developed. And that's what the
I want to just throw my flowers at you.
Thank you.
So good.
That happens in group, one-on-one, and I do art sessions. I actually do art jams on Zoom now because
I just saw that. I'm on the email list. I just saw that. I thought, we're going to do this. Me and the kids.
Yeah. I want to try. Find a time then. I'm going to find a time that works for you stateside.
I was thinking, I didn't see my time zone. I was wondering what time it would be. Well, maybe it'll just be me and not the kids.
And I do movement as well. So I do yoga with movement and mobility and breath work. So it's full integration, sort of mind, body, soul, if you like. So and body, like physical, because we can process stuff in our minds. We can feel the emotion and move through it, but often it's stuck on a cellular level physically in our bodies. So we can move it out that way too. So
I love all the different ways you bring this out to help people have, the conscious living, fun times.
It's fun. It's fun. And my poems, I have music that I use as well, my own music that I've written and produced, and it's all on Spotify and Apple Music. And I have poetry that I'm in the process of converting into meditations, which are currently slowly being released on my new YouTube channel. And I have a segment called Being Curious, which is lots of,
I'm going to have to link, because this will be on YouTube. I'll link your stuff, all of it below, everything that I have. I'll link. Okay. Yes, so people can easily find you.
Fantastic. And occasionally I run these free classes online too, just for people to come and, it's here to be shared. And, not sometimes our financial mobility doesn't work in a particular time. I shouldn't mean that it's not available to people to just come and experience something. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
That's so awesome. Well, you've given us so many nuggets and fun and smiles and hearts. Is there anything else that you're like, I got to just get one more little bonus in there? No.
You've got to support your girl, Rachel, because she's doing amazing things. Aww. That's the last thing I have to say. For real. For real.
Oh, you are so sweet. Aww.
It's true. It's true.
Aww. Well, this has been such a delight. And as I said, all your links and whatnot will be below so that people can connect with you and follow you. And I hope they do, because I know it's a joy. Every time I see wherever you show up online, I'm just like, oh, I'm ready for a good time, or a new way of seeing something in a fun way, or a wisdom piece. So thank you so much for being in the world.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.